Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the site to Astraea Love. Forgot which platform this was. Okay, make sure that you are familiar with the top part of this document. It's my legal disclaimer. It's in the description box below. All right, but welcome back, those of you who are returning subscribers, and thank you, those of you that are new subscribers. Okay, I'm going to go over the bottom part because it's the most important. So by watching my videos, you're agreeing to the contract of being in control of yourself, being responsible for yourself, and with any of the information being channeled. That means if I give you advice to drink a detox tea, for example, make sure that you take that information to your doctor and ask your doctor if that would be something that would be good for your diet. Okay. Don't just take any advice that you hear and apply it to your life without doing the responsible thing of taking it to a professional in the field of that advice. That's all I ask that you guys do. Well, that and be responsible for yourself. Be on your best behavior because the Most High God is watching and the Holy Spirit is listening. By watching my videos, you're agreeing to not attack, bully, or persecute me for my calling. I'm reminding the people watching about my personal human rights. Okay, I shouldn't have to remind anybody about that, but there are people from other countries who don't have human rights. And so I feel like where ours gets messed with a little bit, I'm just going to remind everybody that here in America, we all have human rights here. Okay. Attempting to persecute me in any form or fashion for what I channel from God and the Holy Spirit is a violation against this contract. And if you fucking try to copy me, same shit. Okay. Everything that I say and all that I do on my platforms are copyrighted. If you attempt to copy my messages, you will be punished severely by the Most High God. Do not be a copycat, dumbass bitch. I felt like I had to say that to somebody who just keeps copying my messages, doesn't have any creativity, and does not have a connection to spirit. So that's why they're stealing my shit. Any attempt to silence me will be followed up with by the Most High God. Treat others how you want to be treated. And if you don't want your fucking work stolen from you, then don't steal it from somebody else. Point blank, period. Do not shoot the messenger and do not harm the prophets of God. Idiots. Don't fucking ever in your life think that you can fuck with the prophet of the Most High God and that you're going to get away with it. Don't ever think that. If you've been getting away with fucking with one of God's chosen ones, let me tell you, there is a reason God has quiet and God has let you do what you're doing. And you're not going to be happy about that shit in the future when you're burning in hell for all eternity and you cry out, say all the prayers that you know, and God will never come for you because you fucking got in the way of God. So why is God going to fucking remove you from a place where you deserve to be? Holy shit. Logic, you guys. Literally. Logical. God is very logical. God's not going to take somebody out of hell when he knows that they belong there. God's not going to let nobody leave hell when he knows that they belong there. The only way you can get out of hell is if you can get past your own guilt and shit like that. And that's on you to do. Nobody owes you forgiveness, especially not for this shit that I'm picking up today. And it's got my mood fucking feeling disgusted right now. I just am grossed the fuck out. I can't believe that there's this much witchcraft going on. I can't believe that this much bullshit has happened. So let's get into the prayer. All right. And then we'll get into the messages. But yeah, y'all need to start. I just put in the chat, dude, divine masculines. Y'all need to start calling judgment. Okay. Please stop saying yes to these karmic women and start calling judgment on them. Holy shit. They're men eater. They're going to eat you apart, rip you apart, tear you apart. So yeah, divine masculine. You're loved, but you need to get your shit together. Stop allowing, if you have a divine feminine and you're allowing this divine feminine to be attacked by karmic slurs, that's a combination of a slut and a whore, by the way. Genius invention by NFL Nita. But by the way, literally, if you're going to continue to allow these karmic slurs who don't give a shit about your existence, just don't go outside. They're going to sacrifice you. Welcome in, you guys. These people are fucking Looney Tunes. I mean, it's specifically a feminine that I'm picking up on. That's not a divine feminine that keeps coming for people in the collective and is using so much witchcraft. Anyways, okay, so I ask that the Most High God be with us now, of course, always. and the Holy Spirit. And then I'm asking for a 24/7 return to sender on this dumbass witchcraft shit. Okay. I ask for all of the deities, all of the ones under the Most High God, and any ascended masters, all of the um, spirit guides, guardian angels, if people have that, whatever their spirit guides are, and the appropriate level of spirit guide for these people. Because I feel like you guys are not, it's like some of you guys are not getting, you're not making contact with the appropriate guides. We're also asking Yeshua, Jesus, Muhammad, and any other ascended masters to be with us now. We're calling on all of the archangels. We're calling upon all of the warring angels, all of the death angels, and all of the angels from the pit. Okay? From all directions, from heaven to hell and the earth in between. Return this fucking witchcraft, please. Thank you. And I pray for the highest light. I pray that God just blocks out anyone or anything that has any evil eye, any negativity, makes all evil eyes goes blind, just puts these people away. Go away. All right. I pray for the highest light, the highest wisdom, and the highest truth to reveal to me and my collective. And I pray for all of my subscribers. I also pray for the people doing the witchcraft that they come to God and that they wake the hell up before their life is lost forever. Okay. And that's a kindness that they really do not deserve. I'm going to tell you right now, me praying for these people, they don't fucking deserve that. I'm just going to be the better person. And I'm going to pray for them anyways, because it would be better if they just went to God and repented and then stopped what they were doing and undid it. But it's going to be undone anyways. So fuck them. I forgive myself for attracting this situation. Okay, I ask now as I call upon God's favor to give us the full armor of God for protection and safety during our life's mission and work here on earth. I'm eternally grateful for your favor, Heavenly Source, and for your unfailing love. Thank you for blessing me and my subscribers, and thank you for healing the sick and creating miracles. In your holy name, Lord my God, I give gratitude and thanks. I pray into thy holy presence, and I meditate upon your divine will. Amen. So yeah, we're listening to Archangel Michael music on the channel that's called Archangel. So anyways, just because I feel like we all need Archangel Michael energy, just cutting through the negativity, cutting away the attachments, cutting away the cords, and then doing a 24/7 return to sender. I'm not even kidding. Somebody was attacked all freaking weekend long with witchcraft. And this isn't even one just type of witchcraft. I was clearing so much freaking witchcraft that I'm like, what the hell is this? Why is it so layered? It's because there's more than one person. Somebody tried to 10 of swords you over the weekends. This person's an idiot. So yeah. This person, I was picking up on so many downloads. This person could have been cheating on somebody basically somebody that there's a divine masculine. And this person is pretending to be a divine feminine, although they are not. So I feel like divine masculine keeps getting tricked, not knowing which woman to trust, but keeps getting that energy. Somebody that's chained to the devil. There's never going to be a divine feminine that is chained to the devil. Okay. All right. Let's see what the tarot has to say. Two of Pentacles. You could be getting some good news about this person's death. Like, I know that sounded horrible, but that was just the message that came out. You may be getting some news of somebody's death or their attempted unaliveness. Okay. You may be getting news about a project that's ended, or a conspiracy that's ended, or a plot, or something you're going to get some type of news about something that has ended. And so with this thing that's ending, right? Okay. Also, I looked into, I don't know why all these psychics were saying that in April there's going to be an eclipse. No, there's not. Okay. From what the internet says, the next eclipse is in September of next year. So September of next year. So next September. So I don't know why people were saying that. So if I said that, I just want to be clear. I looked it up, and no, there is not an eclipse in April. Anyways, but yeah, on the last eclipse, somebody was trying to take away your ability to make money because they didn't want you to be able to move. This person wanted to enter into some type of binding contract with you where you would have to either pay them reparations or, okay, my nose is starting to itch. So I know I'm just going to clear what that is because I don't want it to itch. It's so annoying. But this is somebody that's right under your nose. You also may be getting a message from somebody that's like right underneath your nose, right next to you all the time. It could be if you guys have a spouse or you're with somebody, they could be getting the message that something is over. That's what I'm getting. Somebody's going to get a message that something is over. Whatever this is that ends, this is for your highest and best good. Okay? And the highest and best good of the collective. And so this document is going to, or it could be a document, it could be a phone call, it could be a message, it could be a text message, it could be, an email. It could be any of those things, right? Okay. So, this also talks about when you get this message, what I'm hearing is that when you get this message from the divine, from an email, from a person, okay, or it could be from a company, but whenever you get, or this could even be like a renter's company or something like that, or an HOA, like whatever message this is that comes. When you get this message, it's going to put an end to a serious problem that you had. And this problem was being caused by this person, right? And so I feel like the ending of this problem is going to give you the space that's needed so that you can pick up something that was put aside, some type of project, hobby. I just heard Hobby Lobby in my head. Yeah, this person is in the 5 of Cups. You may even receive a message, right, about this person being in the 5 of Cups, like grief, loss, many regrets, setbacks, loss of a relationship, friend, or valued possession, disappointment in love and friendship, end of a marriage or love relationship. If you have moved out of a place and you have somebody else that's moved in, the person that was harassing you at where you used to live is now harassing the person that lives there. Fucking crazy. Just absolutely crazy. So now they want you back. No. Hell to the no. End of a marriage or love relationship. You have the spirit to endure, hope for a better future. Choose a creative solution to their problems. They need to leave you alone. I knew that this Emperor card was going to come out, Divine Masculine. I knew it. This is your energy for sure. Absolutely. This is, even though this guy, and again, this guy, there's nothing on the Emperor card that says an age. Yeah. So there's nothing on here that says an age, but you do see that this is like, looks like an older man. You do not have to be this older man. Okay. To be an emperor. I just want to let you guys know that sometimes, even though the pictures are what the pictures are, and the emperor usually is somebody who's like very wise from life's experiences and stuff like that. Okay. Still, you don't have to be old or have a beard or look like this person in any type of way. Just let you know. We're just getting a representation. So yeah, you could even be getting, you could have a job in law or something like that. You could even be getting a message about a court case that you're working on. That's for somebody who's a lawyer, because you're going to be able to protect and defend those in a weaker position. And you're going to be doing it from a place of authority, true authority. And these, yeah. So whatever this news is that comes in, somebody is going to be in the 5 of Cups about it. Okay. So, they're going to be upset about it basically. But you could even be asked to like step up in a company, or, you could be getting a new job. There's so many different messages that can come through, but I just feel like with the 2 of Pentacles coming out first, whatever this message or document that arrives will put an end to a problem that you were just going through. Yeah. And then the other way that you put an end to it is by going into hermit mode. So the Emperor is somebody that, I don't know why I'm getting advisor here. They're being like, you could be being advised by somebody, or you could be having a meeting, predicts a meeting with somebody who will defend, inspire, and protect you, right? Possible vacation or sabbatical. Follow your heart and not the crowd. It would be awesome for you to take a vacation, even if it's just a day vacation, But yeah, it says make decisions cautiously and then withdraw from life in order to answer the problems that you're going through, basically. And so the problem is that there's a divine masculine out there who has been with a karmic slur. Okay. Or they've been around one. This person is really a bad person. They do a lot of moon magic, a lot of stuff under the moon. They do so much bad. It's just crazy. It's sad. So yeah, this person was being tested with you. You were basically a test for this person, and they're getting the news that they failed. That they definitely were being tested, and they're failing that test. You're passing. You could literally be getting accepted for something, and this person could be getting denied for something. Also, this person is a burden. They've been trying to cause headaches and migraines. Okay, this Knight of Pentacles in the reverse is one of the people that this feminine energy is sleeping with. This is somebody who's under 40, a workaholic, obsessed with success, financially secure, stubborn, argumentative, relentless, consistently pessimistic. This is, oh God, no sense of humor, doesn't believe in wasting time, hard on himself, well-educated and opinionated. This person has a lot of opinions. So maybe there was some type of reward or award you were supposed to get, and they gave it to somebody else. That the spiritual realm is just pissed about that. I don't know what this could be, some type of spiritual award, but literally the spiritual realm is pissed about you not getting the accolades that you deserve. Somebody else getting it when they are not shit. All right. We're going to use the what's the tea because I feel like a lot more is going to come out with the what's the tea. Okay, on the table, please. This person's got bad habits. This freaking hoe bag. I don't know what to call her, you guys. I'm trying, like, I don't want to be so mean, but like this person, you just don't understand to the full extent what this person has been trying to do to you and what they've been doing to other people. I feel like this person shares needles with others. You're dealing with somebody that is truly not, they don't love themselves. They don't take care of themselves. Drugs, addictions, and toxicities. I mean, this person is extremely toxic. They're extremely high as fuck. They got to be smoking or shooting, or I don't know what the hell this is. I don't know what drug that is. Okay. Or rug. I'll say rug. I don't know what rug that is, so I don't get demonetized. But yeah, like, I don't know. I don't know about that shit. But I feel like it's something like that, okay? So this person's got really bad habits. And so does this masculine that they choose to conspire with, right? Because this person, again, you have a masculine that wants to be you, Emperor, divine masculine. You have a masculine that wants to be you, okay? Then you got a feminine that wants to steal your destiny. Tell me how those two, that's insane. That's crazy. They're always partying, bad habits and always partying. Do you see what is coming out about this person? The truth. This is why they should not be fucking playing in your energy. And if they don't want to get their bullshit ass lives read, they should not be playing in mine. Neither, right? I feel like if you have a platform, somebody is trying to do magic on your platform, or if you have social media, they're trying to make it so that you overpost or overshare things that this person would then use against you as some type of attack. Again, I don't feel like there's any dirt that this person is going to be able to dig up on you. I just don't see that, you know. They're always partying. This is one reason why they're sick as fuck. And I'm not dissing anybody that always parties, but if you're sick as fuck and you're always partying and you have these bad habits, then you have to realize that you're doing that to yourself. You know what I mean? This person's fishing for comments. They may literally be trying to ask people that you know about you and other crap like that. I get somebody that's trying to find your location. They want to know where you're at. They want to know where you're staying. This person feels like they are entitled and that they feel like they need to know where you are at. And no, the fuck they don't. It's none of their business. Okay. Don't let somebody else's entitlement ever make you think that there's any legitimateness to what the fuck they're doing. There's not. There's nothing legitimate about them. And I rebuke the fucking voodoo that they did on you. This person is a wolf in sheep's clothing. They're, pretending to be granny. You know what I'm saying? And Little Red Riding Hood. This is that type of energy. And they're going to huff and puff and blow your house down and come and get you. No, the fuck, bitch. You got to huff and puff and do what? We got shotguns over here. Okay? We're going to blow your fucking wolf ass the fuck apart and anything else you come with. So no, literally. You act like a wild animal, you go get shot the fuck up like a wild animal. This is what these people do not understand. They have no right. Then they don't have they're not entitled to know where you live, where you lay your head at night. That's not their fucking business. Whether you have a home or not their business. Whether you have a car or not their business. It really is not their business. And this person's just high as fuck. They want to force something on you. And literally, I think that this person probably has a disease like HIV or something. They want to force themselves on you. That's fucking disgusting. Forces things on you, forces their way, and uses force to get what they want. They want your energy, and they've been cut off from it. This is a habitual grudge holder that just sits around all day thinking about how they're going to get revenge against you, and that is never going to happen. What they've been allowed to do thus far, they're about to get punished severely for that. If I have to call upon Abaddon in the pit and raise Abaddon out of the pit, then this shit is a problem. This shit has now become a problem. It's no longer an irritant. Now it's actually a problem. You know what I mean? It's crazy. I feel like if you're a reader or if you have a platform or if you just have any type of job, this person's tried to do whatever you want to do. They want to do whatever you want to do. I didn't even mean it to come out like that, but they want to do whatever you want to do. That's crazy. So this person feels like they need to know where you live. That's insane. This person does not realize that if they come for you, if they come try to find your address and come try to look for you, and if they try to come force their way into their house, then they literally are putting their lives in danger. Because one, if this person comes anywhere near you, you call 911 on them. Number two, make sure you carry pepper spray. Okay. And if this person comes anywhere near you, you pepper spray their ass and you get away from them. And then you call 911 as soon as possible. Okay. And it would be even better if you get your camera out and start videoing this person and then pepper spray their ass and then pause the video and then call 911 on their ass. Okay. But yeah, like this person's going to be, if this person tries to get into your house in any type of way to put any type of witchcraft there, they're going to be met with a shotgun. So this person needs to stop trying to find you and they need to leave you alone. Okay. Whoever you are, this person needs to leave you alone. I'm going to tell them they're going to be dead in a few days anyways. That may be the news that you end up getting, as this person is unalived, and they've been unalived most likely by their bad habits and always partying bullshit, or by being a forcer, a grudge holder, and by trying to do some crazy shit to somebody. Also, this person's read some scripture out of the Bible that talks about breaking of teeth. This person's teeth will shatter. Mark my words. I said on the table. This person's shit will literally shatter. Scared. This person is broke as shit. They have no money. They don't want you moving on, and they don't want you upgrading. And that's exactly what's happening. And they're trying to use some type of scarcity tactic as a reason that the police would give you your location. I don't even think the police know where you are right now. So the fuck. This person has exposed their psychotic ass to the police in some type of way. They've exposed their craziness. That's all I can say, is that they've literally exposed that something ain't right with them, because they won't let you go. They won't let your energy go, and they won't let the topic of you go. Wheel of Fortune. You're coming into this Wheel of Fortune energy, and this person feels like they're going to break. Like, this person feels like they're going to break into your energetic field, and they're going to steal that from you. No, the fuck they're not. This is somebody that wants to marry for money, or they just want to force something on you and then steal from you. Again, if this person has HIV or whatever other diseases you get from sharing needles with people, if this person has that shit and they come and they know that, and they come and they try to give you that, that's a murder charge. That is attempted murder. That's why I'm saying this person has the worst intentions. They need to stay away from you before they really hurt themselves, because it will be them. It will be them. They will be falling on their own knife. It will be them. It sure as hell will not be you. Yeah, this could be because you're traveling right now, or maybe you're about to travel, or maybe they think that you have traveled. I don't know. Like, you don't owe this person fucking anything. You don't owe them anything in life. Okay? They feel entitled to your Wheel of Fortune. No, the only thing they're entitled to is despair and sadness and depression and anxiety. That's the things that they are. That's not what you are. This person's going to fucking suffer and fall down from their own scarcity tactics. People really need to be aware. If you're going to try to put somebody through something, make sure you're strong enough to go through it yourself. Because when it returns and it's happening to you, you're going to be the one that caused it. Jackpot. What I say, Wheel of Fortune, jackpot. They want this energy. And I am picking up on a feminine that wants to be with masculine, but she is not a divine person. Nine of Swords. This energy, this Knight of Pentacles that she's sleeping with, is in the Nine of Swords. Okay? Because they've got this STD that is a deadly one, murderous one, from this female energy. Now they've caught something and they don't know what to do. Creativity. This person, like I said, steals your work, copies off you, tries to be like you. I'm not kidding. Duplicates you, feeds off of you. Psycho. All this cock blocking energy, the right people are going to find you regardless of where you are in the world. That's why we have the internet for, you know. Ignoring. Continue to ignore this person. And also this person is ignoring the messages that are coming from spirit to telling this person to fuck off and stop. They've ignored that. That little voice called a conscience, that little voice called intuition. They don't want to hear that shit. They just want to attack you and come for you. They don't want to hear that they're not going to be able to do that. Literally, they don't want to hear that Archangel Michael's voice telling them to stop. They don't want to hear that shit. So they're just going to ignore that. But no. They're going to be in the Nine of Swords for the rest of their life. Most likely because of what they tried to do to you. I'm not joking. God is pissed off. Today, God's pissed about this shit. These people are in their head, overthinking, stressed, and overanalyzing the situation, which means they're going to fuck it up. Whatever they have going against you, they're already losing. Don't allow anybody to send threatening messages to your phone. If this important document, this could be a message that somebody sends to you informing you about somebody else, or they could be apologizing or confessing to somebody, to like confessing about something that they've done. If somebody sends you a confession of what they've done, take it to the police and show it to them. If they send threatening messages to your phone, send those to a police officer. Don't allow this person to just think that they're going to be able to do whatever they want, that they've got the police in their pocket. Inside scoop. Don't let this person think that they've got the inside scoop on you. They don't know anything about you. They don't really know you at all, to be quite honest. A closer look, nosy up in your business. Cyberbully. You could be being bullied online by this person, or you could be suffering from being bullied online. So yeah, it's like crazy. Again, don't take any of this cyberbully shit seriously, because you don't even know half the time if you're interacting with a bot or a real human. So if you're being bullied by a fucking machine, come on. Like, don't let that get you down. Okay? That's what I'm like when when the weirdos, and again, they'll come into the chat every once in a while and just be like, God will get you another job. Stop what you're doing. I'm like, bitch, are you a bot or are you a person? You know? Anyways, I still kick them out every time they do it. I put them in 24-hour timeout, and hopefully they mature after that. But yeah, it's crazy. This person needs to be put in permanent ass timeout, man. You're going to remain unbothered by this person, and you're going to remain in the Wheel of Fortune. And you have Archangel Michael protecting your fortune, which means this person tries to play with you again, they're going to be met with Archangel Michael, and Archangel Michael's not going to be listening to their envy and their jealousy and their greed. Hustling. This person was trying to hustle. They want to be like a hustler like you, making it rain, focused on money and getting it. This person wants to be just like you. They're very weird. I mean, I don't feel comfortable with their energy at all. I feel like this person is a serious threat, dude. Like, because they're that insane that if they found out where you live, they would try to leave something at your house or try to get into your house. I really feel like this person is a psychopath, and they need to be put into a mental institution or put in prison. Either one. Something where they're being watched 24. Like, if I'm having to order the spirit realm to watch this person 24/7, that means day and night and day, then they are now a problem. They have become a problem. They have gone from the point of being a little parasite to being a very big issue, right? And if they keep trying to block you and trick and deceive everybody else, trying to use your work against you, this person is going to suffer for that, especially if your work helps this planet. If your work helps this planet, and this stalker, this total stalker, cyberbully stalker, stalking, watching, obsessed. Yeah, you're moving on. You are moving on. You're not going to stay around this person. This person's a spiritual hater. They hate on your light, spirituality, magic, and power. And they hate on the fact that you keep getting out of the traps that they set. This person's pissed off because they've fallen into their own trap, and now they're crying about it. Well, y'all had this person had reckless sex with lots of people, did reckless drug use with lots of people. They put their own life at risk every day. Okay. So has nothing to do with you. Just because you have within you the capabilities to heal HIV doesn't mean that you should have to go through that. You know what I'm saying? This person has got some type of horrible disease that they can't get rid of. Yeah, just like what I just said. Just because you have the power of the magician and you're the healer does not mean that it's your duty to heal everybody of their fuck shit. Okay. It's time for these people to pick up the healing on their own. This person's mentally deranged. So I don't even feel like their energy is worth reading, but because they may try to find you, that's a problem. That I see that as a major problem. Okay. Them trying to come for you is a problem. That's a problem to me, and that's a problem to the Most High God. Exactly. The Most High God showing his hand, saying, yep, I'm involved here. This is God saying, I am involved here. I am protecting this chosen one. I am protecting this emperor energy. This person will remain an emperor. They will be an emperor. And this empress in the reverse that you are dealing with, okay, infertility, sterility, fear and anxiety, trouble at home, personal and relationship problems due to extravagance and overspending. Life is out of balance and focused on material belongings. Okay, possible psychological problems. What I say, no material. Yeah, possible psychological problems, no personal growth, war, hunger, sickness, and loss of possessions. This person is now that you're gone, your protection went with you, y'all. When your protection literally went with you, you took all of that with you. You are the protection. This person's realizing this a little bit too late. Yeah, you're in the 10 of Pentacles right now. Means you're eating your cake, you're having your cake, you're eating your cake, all of that. This person doesn't want you to have a home. Why should they be allowed to have a home and you not? Tell me that. This person sits around and drinks all day and does drugs all day. They're weird. Looking you up, researching you, studying you, trying to get info. This is what I said. This person is a problem. That's why we're calling everything up from the pit of hell to put on this person. Whatever burdens they need to put on this person so that they leave you alone and stay out of your energy and stop trying to mess with your destiny. Whatever needs to be done, let it be done. Do what thou wilt, Most High God. I'm not kidding. This person may literally try to write an apology letter to you. It's a fake apology. Don't accept that. This person's fake flexing. They want people to think that they have money. They're always trying to show off that they have these great abilities, and no, they don't. Anything they've ever had came from a demon or came from somebody else. So, or anything that they appeared to have. This is a karmic feminine. You're dodging bullets by walking away from this person. You are dodging bullets. You're blocking negativity. Okay, moving on, and you're escaping crazy people. You're protected. This person is a divination abuser. They use a Ouija board. We're calling upon Zozo to attach to that Ouija board and to wreak havoc on this person's life until they leave whoever in my collective is alone. If it's not God that's going to make them leave him alone, then let it be another entity, demonic spirit, thing from the pit, or whatever else that forces this person to leave the collective alone. Clout hungry. That's what I'm saying. This person is clout hungry. I don't know why I do not like rodents. Okay. Please forgive me, God. But I am disgusted by rodents. They're the one thing that makes me freaking just want to vomit. I don't know. I just don't like rodents. They're really gross. So forgive me for being judgmental of that. I don't mean to be, but I get grossed out every time that I see that fucking rodent. I'm just disgusted. Yeah, you're too busy winning right now. You're like, I'm hustling, bitches. I'm too busy winning to care. And that's the truth. When you love yourself, these karmics will do just about anything to get you to stop doing your job. And trust me, God will do just about anything for you to fulfill your destiny. So you just never doubt that the Most High God and the Holy Spirit love you, because if you ever start to think that you're unloved, know that that is not your energy. That is the energy of this other person that wants you to feel that way, but that's not actually true. This person's very threatening. They're very threatened, intimidating, threatened, and bothered. Okay. Like I said, if this person sends you, the news that you get is a threatening, I'm like out of breath and I'm just sitting here. So this person's out of breath talking about you. They're out of breath. If anybody sends you threatening messages, contact the police. Do not sit there and allow somebody to just threaten you. Don't just go, oh, I'll just block them. No. Take that message, forward it to a police officer, and find one that's not in the city that you came from. Okay. And send that there. Make sure that everything that that comes to you message wise, if this person stalks you or threatens you, you send that evidence that you have to the police. Okay. Never, ever allow somebody to threaten your life. Because if they think that they can get away with threatening you, trust me, they also think they can get away with murdering you. Six of Pentacles. This person was breadcrumbing you. Now they're about to be breadcrumbed by the universe. This person was trying to make the universe breadcrumb you, and so that they would inherit what was supposed to come to you. And now they're suffering greatly. They don't have the money to pay these witchcraft practitioners anymore to keep these people under spells. They don't have the money to pay the practitioner to keep you under the spell. That's why this shit is breaking today. Today. It's breaking today. King of Cups. Like I said, divine masculine. See, you are this just trustworthy person. You are this awesome human being. You're this awesome divine masculine. You give wise advice. You're somebody that should be in a position of authority. You should be a leader. You should be winning. Somebody shouldn't be sending bullets of negativity towards you. You are the jackpot, okay? And if you don't think that you're attractive, you need to literally start looking at yourself through the eyes of source or your higher self, okay? Because I'm getting that somebody has done a lot of magic to change the way that you think that you look. I don't know if this is fat shaming or whatever, but like, you know, I don't know what this is. I'm just thinking of my own experiences of what people do. They fat shame. I was either too skinny or too fucking fat. Whatever. Who gives a fuck? And if you are overweight, we're asking Archangel Michael to remove the pounds of excess weight that this person's put on your back. Because that's exactly what they've done. They've taken burden after burden after burden and put it on somebody who is a warm, caring, kind individual, who takes care of others, who's a leader, who's a father, who's a Thor giant energy, somebody that protects and shields those that are in a weaker, defenseless position. And this is somebody that attacks other people, does witchcraft on them, does divination abuse on them. You could be moving right now. This girl could want to fight you. Like, I'm definitely picking up on this Empress in the reverse bitch, okay? She's cray-cray. And jelly and all sorts of nasty. I mean, I can't stand this person's energy. They make me want to throw up. Ew, into you. Stop. Yuck. This bitch is a rat. She's a fucking infested, nasty ass, plague infested fucking vermin, okay? Literally nasty ass flea, it fucking ridden, just nasty ass vermin, okay? No. This person's into you. Funny how they were by you for years and never told you that. Now all of a sudden they're into you. I'm seriously gonna slap this person down in my imagination. Just, bitch, shut up. You stupid as fuck. You're not into somebody that you want to have arguments and physical fights with and you're at war and competing with. I mean, come on. This person's weird. Photo proof. This person wants to get evidence of you doing something so that they can take you to court and sue you. Bitch, shut up. This is why I said this hoe needs to shut up. Stupid. Like that's gonna work. Really? You're gonna falsify some fucking faked evidence? These people are not smart enough to do this to you. They're not smart enough, okay? Whatever evidence they try to admit to the court, most likely what's going to happen is it's going to be looked at by somebody who knows how to check if it's AI generated or faked or photo proofed or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? This person, again, I'm seeing like a Polaroid camera in this picture. So yeah, that would be like to get a Polaroid of somebody, you got to be actually have them in your energy. You're never going to be in this person's energy ever again. They're never going to have the privilege of having you near them. This legal issues just fell over. This person is trying to get photo proof of you doing something so that they can take it to the court, to the judges, to immigration, to lawyers, etc. If you are an illegal immigrant right now, I'm going to suggest, because when I see this legal issues, you guys, some of you could be that end up watching this video, some of you could be illegal immigrants. I'm just going to suggest that you at least apply to become a citizen and make it look like you're actually trying to become legal, and maybe the court system will be a little bit more lenient with you. But yeah, this female could be trying to contact all of these things, lawyers, immigration, all of this shit. You're not going to be immigrated anywhere. I'm also getting the energy of Zambia. I'm getting the energy of South Africa. I'm also getting the energy from Nigeria, from the Trinidad, excuse me. And then I'm also getting energy from Texas, from New Jersey, from New York, New Hampshire, from Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Maryland, Florida, New Orleans, Illinois, Iowa. I'm getting energy from all of those places. So, California. Shine, continue to shine. You're moving on. You're moving and you're moving on. Your light irritates their demons. Point blank, period. This person never has the facts. They're always making shit up. They're always lying about you. They're also wasting your time. This person is a wannabe groupie. And this person moves in silence as well. They're creeping because they've got bad karma. They want to draw you into a love triangle. And this person, I tell you, they're on the same shit as they were yesterday today. This person wants you to give them money. You're not going to give this person fucking money for anything. Why would you give this person money? This person wants to pull you into a lawsuit so that they can sue you for whatever you own. Okay? I'm telling you right now, this person does not have the authority to do this. They don't have spiritual ranking. They don't got shit. All they do is have this bad karma and lots of regrets and a bunch of moon magic that they're going to have to answer to because it's getting returned the fuck to sender. So they've got these legal issues. They wanted to bring legal issues to your door, and that was a very big mistake. They should have just shut the fuck up and stayed where they were. You're moving in silence. You're not going to give this person anything that they want. No, this is a thief. You are dealing with a thief who is running. They're running. You're over here reflecting, and this person's trying to get evidence of you, screenshots, whatever. Screenshotting you. The hell? Do you realize that there's nothing you can do about the stuff that comes out of my mouth? That's called the freedom of speech. And especially like, I don't feel like collective has targeted this individual, but I feel like this individual has targeted the collective. Okay. So whoever keeps watching my videos and thinking that I'm talking about them, no, you have a guilty conscience, not always talking about you. If you're this person that's doing this shit and you're watching me, you have a guilty ass conscience. And I don't have anything to do with that because I don't personally know you. But you better leave my collective alone. I'm giving you a warning. I'm giving you a warning that God has already given you, which means that I really don't owe you a warning because God's already warned you. Leave this person alone. Stop trying to use them as a sacrifice. Stop with this nonsense. Stop with the fake accounts. Fucking idiot. This person ain't shit. They're literally worthless. They also don't, I'm also picking up on this person that does not take care of their children. Hey, Kels the Ghost, welcome in. This person does not take care of their fucking children. And they sit around literally bad-mouthing you, trying to get evidence on you, and all the while, child services getting evidence on them because they're running away from being a parent. This person is an impersonator. I would not be surprised if this person has dressed up like you, tried to walk like you, tried to talk like you, and then tried to record a video as they were you, as if they were you, thinking that they were going to get away with this shit. This person copies you. They're very haunted by this. How dare anybody try to create false evidence against you and then use it in a court of law? I don't care what their issues are, because this person clearly has mental issues and drug issues, but I don't care what their issues are. Their issues are this dirt digging that they're doing, looking for you. This is what I was saying. This person is trying to find whoever is in my collective, and I have a problem with that. I have a problem with somebody else trying to find you. Like, that's insane. And if this is a karmic reader or something like that, they should not be trying to haunt and hunt down and extort the people who are watching your platform or listening to your work or whatever this is. They need to leave you alone. But yeah, they're not doing that, and that's why everything in the spiritual realm is it's in upheaval, literally. Just an upheaval. It's like everything's throwing its arms up and freaking out about it because this person is a drama starter. They have a dirty ass offer, some shit that will literally take your life from you or take your freedom. This person believes that because they have committed crimes that you should serve the time for that. This person literally believes that you do not deserve to live. That is crazy. This person does not acknowledge life. Okay. I can tell you that much for sure. They don't like seeing you in the 10 of Pentacles energy. This person literally has tried to permanently damage or injure you in some type of way, and it was rejected. However, this person was hurting you, it's being reversed literally right now as we speak. This also talks about you having to prepare for an assault, keep resources in reserve, just because, again, this person trying to find you, if you have anybody ever trying to get into your new location, you need to make sure that you have, like I said, pepper spray, that you have your phone right there so you can video this person and send that to the police. The best way you're going to get this person off your back is by reporting their harassment to the police, okay? They wanted to threaten you and do all of this stuff. They can literally suffer the consequences of that. Six of Swords, like I said, this person is having problems. They're already in court for something. These people are facing some type of unfavorable judgment in a lawsuit, unwanted marriage proposals. I don't get that energy, but I do get that they're overwhelmed by a crisis and they feel unable to cope with day-to-day problems. This person's dealing with the aftermath of losing you is like draining their energy. It's not draining their energy. It was never their energy. It was your energy. And where you go, when you leave a place, you take the protection that you had with you because it's your protection. This person just got a little too used to being around you and entitled to your energy and time. What I say, justice. What I say. This person injured you like this and got the police to attack you. Literally, you're getting justice for this. And this justice is this person's going to be dragged into another lawsuit and they're going to be taken to hell. They need to be taken to a mental institution. And then they need to stop with the moon magic. This moon magic that's causing everybody to get sick, this is going to come back on this person really bad. Yeah, they did something at the crossroads last night. Now they're at a crossroads in their life because they did something at the crossroads. Foolish people. Foolishness. Death. What I say, they did death. That's what they did at the crossroads. They tried to literally manifest death, your death. That's crazy. This is why you're getting justice. They tried to bring an ending to your 10 of Pentacles and they tried to kill off your energy. I'm not kidding. When I wake up and I feel like I have death being sent to me and shit like that, just start to return it. These people, when they're the one that created it and originated with this energy, like you can return their energy back to them, but they cannot return that energy back to you. They can't do a return to sender because again, the spiritual court system will go, excuse me, you created this shit. You don't return that shit to sender. You're the one that sent it. You're getting your energy back. What you invested in is what you invested in. A death. Now you get to experience a death and it's going to be your fucking own. It's not going to be the death of somebody else. This person doesn't have the power, authority, or the abilities needed to create anything in your life. Okay. This person's not a practitioner. And again, this person does not have the finances. They no longer have the money to pay the practitioner to keep you bound and trapped and all this shit. They don't have the money to pay the witchcraft practitioner. So what does that mean? That means all the fucking, and this person's done over 100 spells on you easy. It means all the spells that have been done on you are broken and things go, the tables turn, things go back to the way that they should be. And this person gets put up under judgment for the amount of witchcraft that they were just doing and having done. Not only that, the practitioner gets slammed down as well. And they may be pulled into court also, especially if they left any type of digital trail of them paying for this spell work, right? This woman was trying to bewitch you, and that pisses me off. I know that I read for divine masculines. I know that this is not a divine feminine. This person has tried to bewitch divine masculine, and they're in a world of hurt for it. Like I said, the tables are turning, 7 of Pentacles. The tables are turning in your favor, and they're going to be losing. Well, they're already lost, but they don't realize that yet because they're ignorant. But yeah, they lost when they started doing this. When they held these intentions for you is the moment that they really, truly lost. Like they're lost in the fucking 3D sauce. If they think that they're going to be able to do all of this to you and that nothing's going to come of it. Yeah, Knight of Cups. This Empress in the reverse sleeps with so many people. I'm just disgusted. That's not normal. That's not normal. I'm not saying it's wrong, but that's not normal. So yeah, she's got a lot of energies that she likes to manipulate. She likes to sacrifice people through sex. You're dealing with a Black Widow person who has not fully come into their Black Widow power, but they're trying to do that. They're trying to do that on you. Hell no. This person could be, if you have a girlfriend, this person could be trying to attack your girlfriend. It says, straight up says on the Hangman card, instead of trying to control, manipulate people and situations, leave them alone. And this is what this person should have done, is left you alone. But they're too high. They're high on some type of drug. 3 of Wands, yeah. So basically, a new business idea is assured. Anticipate regular obstacles. This person was trying to do something to your business so you couldn't make money, so you would be out on the street homeless. So then you would have to accept an offer from them. Nope. The fool. They thought that you were a fool. I'm not kidding, but they're the fucking idiot. You're not. You're really not. You've seen through this person from the very beginning. And so did God. Just like, you know, God also sees this person and is like, they still doing that? They still on that type of time? Yeah, God, they are. Unfortunately, they're still wanting to carry this 10 of Wands, but they're not going to be bringing this 10 of Wands, this continual, constant battle, this burden, this trouble, this strife. They're not going to be bringing that to you anymore. That's over. That's why I'm praying, God, that this person is stalked and watched and harassed 24 hours, 24/7, so that there's not 1 second of time that goes by that the Igigi are not keep that. All they are like angels that have eyes, so they can use those eyes to be 24 hours out of the day watching this person and making sure that they don't come near the collective. Okay, actually putting up barriers and boundaries that cannot be broken. If the person tries to cross that, then take their head clean off. Just whatever you need to do, keep this person away from my collective. Because if this person comes in your energy again, you know, they're gonna you'll have to be on the defensive. You shouldn't have to live your life defending yourself from this shit. Okay? God doesn't want that from you. You shouldn't be being spied on either by this person. Anybody with any amount of sense would have known that this was a bad idea. Yeah, because you're this boss daddy CEO big dick energy. That's what you are. And that's what you're going to remain. You're going to you're already the emperor. You're going to remain the emperor. And it's only because of this King of Cups energy that you hold of being very kind, caring person that has caused this person to think that they could do this to you. This love on the brain, they're freaking in love with you. It's sick. Romantic love affair. That's what they want. I don't care if this person is 70 years old. Whoever this is to you, this Empress in the reverse is in love with you. But like I said, you need to be aware of them. They caught a case, and this is some HIV type shit. Okay? They literally have a sexual infection, sexual disease, a rash. I don't know what else you could have other than that. Gonosyphilitis, some shit like that. This person's got it all. And they're a cock blocker. This person gets in the this female will get in the life of like a rapper that's on a divine mission, and she will completely start cock blocking his creativity and start stealing from him. Stealing rap, music, stealing everything. Rugs, stealing rugs from people, stealing everything from people. This person is a cock blocker. So yeah, you've been uninterested in them because you know that this is the same shit, different day. This person's always fake smiles. They're an obsessed lover. This person wants to be a rapper. They just want to be with a rapper. I'm picking up on that energy all of a sudden coming through. Or they want to be with somebody that is famous. Okay. Karmic friend. This person is a karmic friend to you, or a karmic friend to your lover. They're literally bankrupt and spiritually bankrupt. Welcome in, Tony Jordan. But yeah, this person is fucking bankrupt, right? And they don't have, they don't have the energy to compete with you. But literally, this person could be trying to plant some type of evidence with this dusted off energy. This person wants you back. I don't think you've ever been with this person, but maybe you left the area where they were at. Maybe you told them to leave. I don't know, but they want you back. All this person wants to do is spread this STD. Okay. This is what they do to people. They give them this disease, and then they try to, I don't know what demonic ass shit this is, but this is evil. This person could be getting their car taken from them. Yeah, you definitely rejected this person. You absolutely rejected them. You're like, no fucking Wait, never. This person's been hooked on your energy ever since. Like, it's like, oh, this person thinks that when you say no to them, that means that they should try harder. And really, it's not. Hey, oh my gosh. Wow. I'm so glad, Ragnarok, that you're okay. Because, yeah, this is definitely the energy that I'm picking up on. Somebody that was freaking hooked on you. And this person, you've never even been with this person. This person's just Looney Tunes. But, yeah, they wanted to hook you in, like, and keep you away from finding. This person is doing this. They're marrying for money, literally. So, yeah, I'm really glad that you dropped her, because that person knew that something good was about to come to you. Yeah, this person is pretending to be a queen rising, and they're not. They're not a divine feminine. Literally, they are not a divine feminine. They're played out, and everything they were doing was played out. This person will start kissing your ass because they need to get back in your energy to try to hook you back in. And this person will talk shit to you. Especially if, yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh. At least, you know, the name, those two names separately, both Ashley and Dawn, have been coming to me for the past probably like over a month. Wow. Wow. Yeah, definitely digging into your energy. That's crazy. Yeah. Good. I'm glad that your spirit team stopped her. This person will end up talking shit about you. But again, I don't think that you've given them a whole lot that they can talk about. They're just basically, why don't you want to talk to me anymore? It's like, dude, this person in their mind is like, does he know? Does he know? And the thing is like, however long you knew this person, they were doing witchcraft on you the entire time. But you're still unfazed by it because your spirit team was like, fuck no. Just hell to the no. This person's a happiness hater. They're stuck in their ego. They wanted to make you some type of weird offer that would have put you in the 9 of Swords. They're crying over you now because they know that they have a bad reputation and that they were doing spell work. Like, who in the hell has time to do this much spell work on somebody? Like, this person doesn't wash their ass. They don't take care of themselves right. Like, they need to go to Planned Parenthood and get it fucking tested, man. Wow. Yeah. Wow. See, I hate when psychics just say stupid shit and they don't even know what they're talking about. That's dumb. Yeah, if you had any type of entity attachment, you wouldn't be able to talk to me without me getting sick. So I can tell that you absolutely don't have that. When I asked God, no, this person was trying to attach entities to you, and they do not attach. Like, you have something unique about your energy where when these things try to attach to you, they can't. Then it's kind of like they grab at you, but literally they can't do anything other than just stare at you, and that's it. But yeah, you definitely have this person. I'm not even kidding. This person was really bad. Fucking horrible human being. Because I don't know why this person would do witchcraft on their subscribers. Like, that's crazy. Trying to put everybody under a spell. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And you know, I will never diss anybody that lights candles and prays, but like people that are like putting like dark herbs, or I don't know what it is, but they put it in the candle, graveyard dirt, whatever, and they're sending evil to people. I don't respect that shit. It's one thing to light a candle and to pray. That's something that's like a time old tradition, you know, attracting positivity. But like, I burn Jesus candles, you know what I mean? Just to have positive energy around so that my ancestors have something to work with. But people that like, what I'm getting is she was putting like graveyard dirt. She's trying to do very dark magic. Dark magic. And I don't feel attached to this energy. I don't feel like that's even her real name. I feel like she made that name up or something. So her name could actually be something else, or she could have been born with a different name. Oh my gosh, yeah, The Chronicle of Riddick. Dude, the best movies. I liked the Pitch Black one. That one was so freaking cool. Where it goes through like his lifetime and stuff. Yeah. And I like Fast and the Furious too. So yeah, Vin Diesel is actually a pretty cool guy. And then he was in this witch movie too that was really good where he was fighting these witches. This person is literally having like I'm not like let's count the how many people this person sleeps with. One, two, and I was honestly feeling like this person was getting accolades somehow from sleeping with people, which is crazy, right? I mean, that's obviously something that people do, but yeah, having you spied upon, these monitoring spirits are returning back to this person and saying it's a no-go. We whatever this magic was that this person was paying for, they don't have the money for it anymore. This also talks this Four of Cups that just fell out. This person could literally get a DUI. I'm seeing overindulgence in food and alcohol, but with the other deck, we saw all of their drug use and stuff like that. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, absolutely. See, and this is why I'm the Witch Hunter. Yeah, that's such a good show. I also, if you ever get around to watching, I don't know if you have Netflix, but The Witcher, great season. Or great seasons of it. Actually, it's an awesome show. And then there's another show called, I'll type it in, The Witcher um, show, and then there's another really good show called Reacher. You guys would really like those. But yeah, this person's carrying so many burdens. Not to your house. Hell to the no. And that abusing divination, I was like literally specifically getting Ouija boards. So I was just rebuking that because those things, I seriously, really, really believe that Ouija boards are a problem. They're a big problem. They should not, what type of sicko made that game? Like literally, because I literally, I do believe that Ouija boards are a problem. Good. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad that you're aware of it though. You guys, it's so important to know what energy is yours and what energy is not, because the way that these people puts like the way that these people put fucking spells on other people, I am just like appalled by it. I'm really appalled by it because it's so unnecessary. They would have such a better experience if they didn't do witchcraft on people. Yeah, and this is somebody that's always going to be putting themselves first. They're always going to be trying to preserve their energy and everything. And that's why like you never victimize innocent people. I always tell people that, you know, even others that have other platforms to pray for your subscribers, because you want those people that are your tribe family, you want them to be okay. You never want to be doing spells on people you don't know. This is literally, yeah, the Bible is definitely not a lie. We can, the thing about the Bible that makes it so magical is that we could be at any point in our experience of life here, and there will be at least 1 to 2 to 3 different stories in the Bible that we're actively living out. Like we're actually going through the things that happened then. You know what I mean? Because they're actual human problems, and that's why they're recorded in that book so that you know how to address those problems when you have somebody that's coveted like they were already on it. You know what I mean? She was trying to get into your dream state. Why? This has something to do with John the Baptist. I can tell you that. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. She wanted to do that. And again, she didn't have the authority to call judgment on you. There is no reason. Especially when she had been doing spell work on you from the beginning. This is what I'm saying. This person doesn't have any more money to pay the practitioner. So maybe she prays for her practitioner not to get caught. But yeah, you're also dealing with somebody that has a mental disorder. They think that they're psychically gifted, but they're really just connected to demons. And yes, demons can see the future, but they can't see what God's doing for people. That's like when you know that God can do anything, that's like the biggest, most important factor that you should be looking at is about that, is what God's doing for this person. You know what I mean? Yeah. Wow. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. At this point in your journey, yeah, I don't know what 5123 is, but at this point in your journey, you did the exactly correct thing. You're not supposed to be fighting. You're supposed to be giving it up to God, because literally when somebody tries to use their abilities in a negative way on you, that's something that who knows what other forces they're working with. That's just something that's, out of everybody's range pretty much. That's why just giving it to God and giving it to your angels and your team, that's the best thing that you could do. And knowing that God is going to come through for you, and God may be just wanting, that's way too many cards that just fell. God may be wanting you to see something about this person. So it is an awakening. Look what just fell. Judgment. Okay, so literally, God is wanting you to call judgment. That's why I was like, divine masculines, please call judgment on this person, because they're trying to get back into your energy and they feel like they've lost something. Also, this person works with some type of authority. Yeah, this person's thoughts and intentions are all, their brain is messed up because of witchcraft. And that shows me that possibly their mother could be doing witchcraft or could have done witchcraft. But then we have a Knight of Swords energy, which is an aggressive cop energy. In the reverse, this is a man who's impulsive, opinionated, poor judgment, overspends, frequently takes advantage of other people. This is somebody that this Empress in the reverse works with. This person could not, this is why this person's not successful. They may look like they're more successful, but they cannot grow anything. They can't produce anything. You have an Ace of Swords protecting you from this drunk person. This person is in the Three of Cups, always in the reverse, which is like their friends turn their back on them, their loss of social status, feelings of loneliness and isolation. I also feel like this person received some type of accolade off of the back of other people. And I feel like they steal bits and pieces of divine essence from other people, and then they try to put that all into one thing, and their messages don't make sense, even though they're literally copying somebody else. This reader is copying somebody else's messages. That's why today in the prayer was like, and anybody copying the messages, fucking stop, because you're distorting what God says. And again, that's why the disciples, we don't know who wrote the Bible, because the disciples, from what Gnostic texts say, and I do believe in the books of Enoch. Okay. Okay, Kels, do you have a question? Yeah, wow. Yeah. Wow. Wow, I did not know it said that in the Bible. Well, it definitely is alluding. There's a very interesting story about Paul the Apostle, and I think I've told it before, but that basically he's dealing with a psychic that's possessed. And yeah, I get major possessive energy coming off this person. Okay, Kels, we're going to look at your energy now and see what's going on there. But I think I want to use the Thoth deck because that is the one. So somebody has Aleister Crowley as a spirit guide. And okay, so Aleister Crowley was the inventor of Thelema. Is a very, very popular, like, I don't know if it's a religion or whatever it is, but yeah, avoid strange women, avoid adultery. Absolutely. Loyal young women. Absolutely. I totally agree with that. Yeah, it's avoiding women that are like possessed. They're either Jezebel or they're possessed by Jezebel. Okay. Okay. Okay, so so Kels, are you working on an actual story? Cuz I'm getting a body of work right now that you're actually working on something that you're writing. What I'm seeing is that whatever this is that you're writing, you may want to add two more twists and turns in it. So like when you're writing your story, you have the whole thing completed, there's something that you can link from the middle of the story to the beginning of the story. That's going to be like an aha moment for the reader. Yeah, you know what? A lot of people kind of misinterpret Aleister Crowley. So because, of his background, um, I do get that he's been around you, but before Ragnarok, I do get he's been around you before, possibly when you were talking about him. So most of his stuff, like he wrote a lot of poetry, he's got books of poetry, most of his stuff, and then he did the Thoth deck, which I love. This is just genius. He was basically trying to prepare people for the new age of Horus, which is the new age of Aquarius, which is the golden age, which is coming now, and getting people psychically connected, basically psychically to their higher selves. So when it says, do what thou wilt, what he meant by that, again, this is probably the most misinterpreted thing by him. What he meant by that is like you're saying to your higher self, do what thou wilt with me, right? Like I am your humble servant, I am your humble vessel. And so the whole part of Thelema was to get in contact with your guardian angel. It was just like a process kind of. Um, but yeah, he's definitely a spirit guide to people who are very psychic, who could very well have worked with tarot in the past, and then people who are very, very um like philosophical, I want to say. But yeah, I've had him as a guide for a while, and I don't get any evil vibes off of him. I don't see any weird stuff either. But I do feel like a lot of his teachings were misunderstood, just the same way that Jesus's teachings were misunderstood, because you have somebody that's speaking about things from a higher dimension and it sounds one way, but it can be interpreted completely differently. And so that's why it's like, it's very interesting. I think his life is very interesting. And how Aleister Crowley and H.P. Lovecraft were tapping into Gnosticism and they were tapping into the same entities. That is crazy to me. So, all right, Kels, let's see. I feel like whatever you're working on, that this is going to scare the pants off of somebody. Whatever this story is that you're writing right now. But what I am seeing is that it's like adding more details is what I'm getting. Adding more details. So it's like adding more details to something, to either a character. What I like to do is I like to find a characteristic that can really be, yes, that can really be amplified and worked on. So you take something about the character and then you make it a much bigger than it is. I'm also getting that these little clues, it's like giving the reader clues, okay? Because when it comes to horror, we're always so excited to find out like what happens, right? So what I'm getting is that making your ending, you could even write like 3 different endings and let the reader pick which ending that, you know, when you have them girls are in trouble. Yeah, when you have an ending, you can write just kind of like how Mad Max was. You can write Creepypasta Collection, absolutely. You can write an ending and then have a different ending for different people, right? For your different characters. What I'm getting is that you're going to find with your writing that you put little hidden clues into the beginning, and so they're necessary details, but when the reader is reading it, they don't understand why those details are there. They're just there, but then later on in the story those details come up again. And so being able to reference each part of your story with one another, that's going to be how you become a famous writer. Because the writers that give the most twists and turns, this Princess of Cups energy, this is definitely working on your project. Absolutely. Yeah. And again, Aleister Crowley, he wrote a lot of poetry. So there may be something about integrating either poetry or something like that. Also, character development and plot development are the 2 things that are going to be your biggest strengths. Yeah, absolutely. He was very eccentric. Absolutely. Absolutely. But, people say crazy stuff about him that's absolutely not true. Like he ate children and shit. Like, it's like, dude, stop. Virtue. So when you give your care, okay, so one thing that I love about my favorite authors, both of my favorite authors are Robert W. Chambers. He wrote The King in Yellow. And then I also like Lovecraft. Those are like my 2 favorite authors. When you have a character that has virtue and innocence, and they're like a do-gooder, but they're just a sweet person, you touch the heart of the reader, right? In a special way. So Robert W. Chambers always has a person in each of his stories and each of his books that is very virtuous. And so you fall in love with this character every time you read it. And it just makes you so much more engaged. So that's what I'm getting. Usually they're a feminine energy. Yeah, if you haven't read The King in Yellow, like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's some of the best work. It's really inspired. That's what inspired me to write, was The King in Yellow. Just because of the way that reading and writing, the things that we've read change and warp our reality. And so The King in Yellow goes into, basically, The King in Yellow is of different stories that all get put into one book. Yeah, Lovecraft was such a good writer. They all get put into one book, and each story breaks your like illusion of reality. And that's what I love about The King in Yellow. Completely awesome. So yeah, I think the first story is probably my favorite. Good. I'm so glad, BC. Yes, you walked away from her. Yeah, it's fear and amplifying the fear of the unknown. Absolutely. Because that's exactly what I think, that Lovecraft was probably afraid of just about everything. But yeah, definitely fear of the unknown. And because it's so like abstract, you know what I mean? Also, having another strong character like this Queen of Swords, when you are developing your characters, you want the reader to become invested in that character. That's why the lady that wrote Harry Potter, she invested so much detail into her characters. I'm getting that you can still do this without having your story be super long. You can still write about things in a way that people get sucked into it, literally. That's what The King in Yellow does. It breaks you of the illusions of everything you've ever written or read. Yeah, you're going to have major success with this. Major success. And it's because people they love to be like tickled with fear of the unknown, just enough so that we're tickled by it, right? Not so much that it overtakes us, but just enough so that we're tickled by it. And so, yeah, this is definitely universal. You may end up writing about some type of war that goes on that I'm getting. This is possibly going to be one of your creepypastas that you write, will be about a universal war. And you're going to have beings that are very virtuous. Yes. Satiety. That's basically satiating the reader by giving them an ending that is like that could be interpreted in different ways, is what I'm hearing. Or even not giving it an ending. That way you could see when you kind of like give it a cliffhanger, that basically puts people in a position where they're going to be wanting more from you. They're going to be like, okay, where's the next story? Where's the next one coming from? That way you can kind of, assess your writing upon what your feedback is, which is the best thing to do. I just yesterday found out about this app. It's called Chat GPT, right? So you can take your whatever you've written, right? And you can put it into the Chat GPT, and what that will do is that app will basically fix any grammar, fix any spelling, and then if there's something that doesn't make sense in the story, the app will help you rephrase the way that it's stated, basically. So it's like the ultimate editing app. Definitely want to take advantage of that. Yeah, the Princess of Wands, absolutely. Having two different female characters. My favorite book is definitely The King and I would say I have two. I have The King in Yellow and The Call of Cthulhu. Those are my two favorite books. I think that they're just so interesting. But yeah, The King in Yellow is what has inspired me to be a writer. Wow. Patty Gurdy, Rise Up. Okay, I'll have to listen to that. Wow, beautiful song. I love that. I love that, you guys. Yeah, you're going to be completing a major masterpiece here. I feel like you're figuring out what your writing voice is, and it's so universal that you're going to be able to get, you know, this to other people. I also feel like the way that you're writing the creepy pastas, that they could be interpreted into like a screenplay in an easy way. So I feel like continue with using like normal language that everybody can understand. That's what I'm picking up on the most. When a lot of people that are very smart, again, Lovecraft, we know, was very educated. Aleister Crowley, very educated man. Okay. Um, so when they wrote things, they used big words that not everybody knows what that means. And so of course they came from a different time frame. Maybe those words were actually used then. But basically what I'm saying is like write something that a 7-year-old could read and somebody that's in their 60s. And then also playing upon, like, when you get to experience your own fear, play upon that. You'll basically be able to channel that fear that you have and play upon that. Because if you have I'm afraid of dark water. If I can't see through the water, I don't want to get in it. If it's black water, something about that scares me to absolute death. I don't know why. But if you have something like that, also, I don't like heights either. But like, if you have something like that, you can definitely play on those fears, and then playing upon the attributes of people that make them who they are. Having a person, and you can always have happiness in the ending, even though you take people on a ride. You literally are taking them like on a roller coaster ride. It can be very scary at some of the turns and stuff like that. You may feel like you're going to fall out, but at the end you're still happy. Let me see. No, I don't think I don't think I saw what you sent. But yeah. I feel like this is also about the new Aeon. This fear of the unknown. It's you may end up writing about Egypt and going back to Egypt. I feel like that there's a mixture between horror and then adventure that you're going to be writing about, which will be really, really fun getting to step into. And then also, what I'm hearing is adding a little bit of romance can really, you know, if you feel like you get to a place where you're like, okay, what else can I add? You can always add romance, always makes things very interesting. And it may, and anytime you have a relationship going, yeah, you'll want to have like this interference, right? You want to have something that's interfering with a love dynamic. That's always a great story, right? Oh, okay. Yeah, absolutely. You're definitely correct about spiritual prison. Yeah. People don't know about that, and they should know that you can't just do anything to anyone, you know? Just crazy. I also feel like um that you're going to start with creepy pastas, but then you're going to end up writing a book because I feel like you're going to come up with some really frightening concepts that are also things that have either happened in the past or things that could happen in the future. Yeah, these works. Absolutely works. Like, so yeah, I want you to know that writer's block is an illusion. Okay. You always have something that's channeling through you. You always have that. So don't believe in writer's block because that's an illusion. I feel like the work that you produce is going to be something that's actually fun. Yeah, good. Good, you guys. Writing can be so therapeutic. It can be really therapeutic. Yeah. You know what? I was listening to this channeled message yesterday. It was like on Astral Legends. It was about Sophia and Christos and stuff like that. Um, anyways, the group of people that John the Baptist came from was the Essenes, okay? And they lived in the desert. That's maybe I was listening to the video of Yeshua, but I was listening to one of those and it was talking about that. So I feel like when you reintegrate old things that have happened in the past, like you could take something that happened in the Bible and rewrite it, and you'll end up with something that's like actually going to help people grow and learn from your writing. Like, for say, you could take just that time frame, right? And you could integrate that time frame into your story, and it would, yeah, it would literally, wow, Manadeans, yeah. Wow. Yeah, never question yourself, you guys. Especially when you get like, because I feel like a lot of you guys, the best way for you to write, if you're not writing physically with your hands, is to just type it and know that you're going to put it through that app, Chat GPT. So you don't have to have every detail perfect. Because I feel like you guys get in the in the flow, and then you're like, oh, I have to be perfect, and you don't have to be perfect. Trust me, the app will take care of that part. Just make sure you get it all out. Oh my gosh. Ooh, I just got chills, man. Wow. Wow, that's really creepy. That's really creepy. Wow. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I know. I've seen people before and have had that demon face syndrome where I'm like, that's not a person, that's a demon. And I'm like, does anybody else see this? And absolutely other people see it. I also feel like some of you guys may see dead people. That's another thing that you could add as an attribute to one of your characters, them being a psychic or them being an intuitive. But yeah, I definitely had a scary, scary mirror that was in my bedroom as a child that scared the crap out of me. And so, yeah, absolutely. Wow. Yeah. Age deeply. Yes, absolutely. Wow. That's so wild, you guys. That's definitely the gift of discernment. So, yeah, you could also have, a storyline of somebody who is trying to escape. That's very exciting. Since you were a child, my goodness. Wow. Yeah, I agree with you though. It's been since you were a child. That gift has always been within you, which is scary because you're seeing is you're seeing the spirit that that person has, and it could be a different spirit that's possessing them, or that could just be the way that they are. Especially when you're dealing with a witch. Prince of Dis. Yeah, you could have a character also that has some type of limitation. Okay, that's another thing that really, really gives your story more oomph, right? Yes. How do y'all know about Saturn's box, yo? Oh my gosh. Yes. Beating witches, killing demons. Yeah, because wow. Wow. That's awesome. Yeah, having somebody with a disability and then putting them in a situation where they would need to use whatever is disabled. Yeah, you guys, I am totally thrilled that you guys know about Saturn's box. You know that that's like a crazy weapon, right? That's crazy. Yeah, I think we all had to escape Saturn's box, literally. And what I thought Saturn's box was doing was holding Lucifer in it, but I wasn't for sure. But I definitely feel afraid of that thing, and I don't know what it is. I know that people worship it and they put it into their buildings and all this stuff, but as to if it's some type of dark tesseract or something, it is okay. It's the illusion of time. Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense. Wow. Wow. Yeah, because Cronus and Saturn is time. So yeah, what I'm seeing is like when you add love into the story, it makes people invest. And you may find that you end up writing very juicy love stuff, like love writing, you know. That always makes people invest more when you have characters that are having sex or they're in love with one another. You can always play on those types of relationships with your writing. And yeah, when you give somebody a disability or if you give them an advantage, it can make a whole difference in the direction that your story goes. Okay, it was holding like a Luke, yeah, a light bearer. Okay, it was light, but it was a prison. Yeah, Logi, absolutely. Logi lived in the box, and kind of like Gandalf. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, I know that Middle Earth is the middle of the Earth. I've literally seen it before. So yeah, this Prince of Dis energy, this is just showing me that you're going to have characters that are so lovable that people are going to want to invest in that, but you're also going to have characters that are so vile. Like you just have the ability to create a true villain that would be like, the story of Maleficent, how Maleficent is like a cool villain. I feel like you're going to be creating something that is absolutely terrifying. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Christos Bright Morning Star, Yeshua Sophia. Wow. I'm so surprised that you guys know. This is stuff that I know because of my psychic abilities. It's not stuff that I've read, but that you guys know this stuff. I am just like, yes. Yes. And yeah, this Queen of Cups energy, having somebody that's very soft, like you you can write the story to be like having somebody that's very soft and loving and caring that everybody wants to take care of. You can have a savior in the story, or you could even reverse that and have it so that people go down in a different way. Yes, absolutely. Freeing yourself from that black box of consciousness. I think that it has something to do with the black cube of Mecca, the black, it's like a crystal. So what I'm seeing here is that basically you're going to be using universal concepts, big concepts like quantum leaping, quantum jumping, timeline shifting. Yeah, you can even add a level of prudence into your writing. Okay. It's all of these different things. Like if we think of different characters, all of these different things add different aspects to a story. Wow, you've been writing books on this stuff. That's so cool. That's really, really cool. I would be, when you finish that, let me know and I will purchase your book. But yeah, you guys, absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. I feel like the more that you get to expand your own character, the more you're going to be able to embellish on others' characteristics. Prince of Cups. Okay, so yeah, these are the characters of your story. And it could be also, there could be a big reveal. I feel like you could end up writing a story and then end up writing a part 2 and a part 3 to it, because the people are going to respond to this very, very well. I mean, literally, whatever you create as the interference is going to be most likely the protagonist that's going to go against these works. And I feel like, yeah, this is going to be a major change in the way that you see writing itself, especially if you read The King in Yellow. The King in Yellow by Robert W. Chambers. Okay, so The King in Yellow is where Lovecraft got his inspiration from as well. But Hastur is one of Lovecraft's writings. Hastur is the one who has written The King in Yellow. So it's all connected basically. But yeah, definitely Saturn's energy is very, when people have a Saturn return, it almost causes a death in their life. So yeah, this is going to change the way that you write for the better. You may even be able to add an aspect of cruelty into your writing. And basically you're playing off of people's heartstrings, basically. So you want to get the reader engaged. I can tell the story is going to be a good story when within the first 20 minutes, I'm actively engaged in what they're saying, and I'm actively curious and engaged about the characters that they have and what they're going to experience. And yeah, you can have advanced writing that doesn't exceed what a 7-year-old could understand. You know what I mean? Like how Lovecraft really used, cruelty and pleasure. These are all things that you can amplify, right? And play off of. That would be really good. That would probably help a lot of people get out of that I don't know what to call it, is box or trap. It's basically a trap. Prince of Wands, very fiery energy. Yeah, seriously. Like Jonah the Prophet escaping the whale. Exactly. Escaping the Saturn's box. Exactly. Yeah. Because the whale doesn't unalive him. He's actually able to get out. The Saturn's box, I'm pretty sure that was created to unalive consciousness. Yeah. Also, when you talk about oppression, that gets people really riled up. So like you could end up writing a creepypasta about, let's say that you use like Haiti, for example. Haiti has used voodoo to get free from the French. And there are so many stories that could be written about that. Like So when you add an aspect of oppression into your writing, just like how Star Wars has like the dark side who's very oppressive, it just gives another very powerful element to your story that you can play upon. And people love to be able to tap into the darkness just a little bit, to have a taste of it, to not to where it's totally oppressive and makes you feel bad, but just to have enough of a taste of it. You know what I mean? And so that's what I'm feeling like. Yeah. Also, dominion, right? When people have control of another person, that's another part, like dominion. That's another thing that you can amplify. So you could have somebody that is imprisoned, and that would be a scary situation to start out with. But yeah, being trapped or imprisoned. Yes. The Ace of Swords, this is what I'm telling you, that you can also have an aspect of divine intervention or divine protection that shows up. It's like letting the person almost get sucked down into the black hole, but then something shows up to protect them. Having you can have a hero and you can have a villain, and you could also portray both sides of the story, what I'm seeing, and linking them in together so that the villain, kind of like Harry Potter and Voldemort, but they're basically connected, right? The villain and the hero. I mean, that's a fun play right there. That is fun. Queen of Wands, yeah, very expressive energy, having a lot of explosions and action. I'm seeing adventure, action, and then playing upon certain phobias and fears. Or you could also write a story where somebody thinks that they're getting something fortunate. Right. Yeah, you could write a story about somebody who thinks that they're getting like a wish granted or a blessing, and then it ends up being like a curse on them. That's some of the best stories that are out there. I watched, I can't remember the name of it, but it had the girl that's from Stranger Things, Billy Bobby something. Anyways, she ends up being dropped into a pit and forced to fight this dragon, right? Okay, she ends up, it's the best damn movie. I'm not even kidding, yo. It's such a good movie. She's like a princess. She gets thrown into this pit with this dragon because these people owe a debt, and I don't want to ruin it for you guys, and I don't remember the name of it, but Billy Bobby Brown's in it. Just type, you could just search dragon story with, or dragon movie with Billy Bobby Brown, and it'll come up. That would be really good for you to watch. Just because the aspects of storytelling in it, they really did a very good job. What I'm getting is that what you end up writing is something that could be easily translated into a screenplay. And so, you know, I know that there somewhere is a TV show that does do creepy pastas, and they choose the best creepy pastas and then they make them into short animated like films, basically like episodes. That, you know, like we're talking about, the fear of the unknown, death is another thing that can be played upon, people dying and people coming back to life, right? Wow. Yeah, I definitely don't feel like you're under mind control. They don't have that type of power, but they are, like what I was saying with the hooks, they are hooking into your sacral and your solar plexus and trying to drain your energy that way. Yeah. People coming back from the dead is also a very scary concept. Ace of Discs, people coming into some type of blessing, or it could be, you know, they come into inheriting a house that's haunted from a relative or something like that. Maybe they find out that their relative was a warlock or a sorcerer. You can add all these different elements. And then having somebody who is like an empress, a mothering, caring connection. That's another way to really engage the people that are listening so that they'll invest. Because all you want them to do is you want them to continue listening to your story. So that's why I'm saying within the first 15 minutes, you've got to have a situation or something that's really intriguing, very interesting, and that it makes the reader emotionally invest into the situation, right? And want to know more. And that's how you'll be successful. And then when you have the whole thing written, like I was saying, you can go back with minor details and put little clues and details along the way for the reader to stumble across. And maybe some readers will get it, you know, and they'll figure out what's going on. But keeping that mystery going, maybe they won't get it and they'll figure out at the end. Some of the funnest videos and stories and creepypastas are the ones that you're actively in mystery mode trying to figure out what's going on. They've been trying to what you're experiencing is crown chakra attack. I definitely feel that. Your right kidney as well. Whoa. Okay. Okay, good. Yeah, Reiki is such a blessing. Oh my gosh, it's such a blessing. You can also add disappointment and defeat, where one or more of your characters feel disappointed or they feel defeated. A lot of what we're talking about, other people can relate with. You know how Batman was super wealthy? That was an aspect of Batman that he would not have been the same if he did not have whatever the butler of Batman's called. I forget what his name is, but if he didn't have that guy and if he didn't have the money, he would not be able to be Batman. So adding wealth can be another thing. Wealth is also a driving force. Like you could have somebody that comes across a tool of a god, like a god of wealth. They end up touching this Alfred. They end up touching this object and then they become obsessed with it. Or somebody that's trying to get somebody else's wealth. Those are also very, yeah. When you give your characters different strengths and different weaknesses, you basically are making them very human, which human is what can be relatable to. So somebody may relate to one character while feeling another character is the complete opposite. I know we're talking about characters, but we're also talking about situations. We could have a lover situation. You know, you could have lovers that end up taking other people out, and you end up finding out that these people are working together the whole time at the end. That's the type of writing that I'm getting, is stuff that really will inspire people to think in more depth. And then coming into ruins. It could be a literal ruins, like a place that's disheveled, you know, that something gets discovered at, or it could be that all of your investments, except say like one, ends up being led into ruin. Yeah, this is art. This is an art form. What we're talking about here, how to intrigue people and how to get them emotionally invested, and how to, it's like we're wanting to trigger them, but not in a negative way, if that makes sense. We're wanting to trigger their fear of the unknown without putting them into that fear to where they don't want to continue, right? So that's why you make relatable characters go through a whole experience that can be witnessed, and that you're the person that's reading it or watching it, depending on if it ends up showing up on YouTube, because there's a lot on YouTube. But whoever's reading it or watching it, where they feel absolutely glued to the page. That's that when you feel like, you know, and this indolence energy, you can, adding this to a character can make a huge difference in your story. Somebody that is just lazy, that won't get their shit together, they could like be on they could be on watch for something, and then this monster ends up getting in because this person fell asleep at their watch or their post or whatever. I'm also getting like integrating people that have powers, and then magic, and then also things like fire, things that are very devastating, like fire, floods, all that type of stuff. The star, integrating things that come from space or come out of space, is another way. And integrating also like extraterrestrial UFO stuff. That's always frightening. You can have the frightening aspect of your story make a truce with the character of your story. That's also another good way to bring ends together. You could also take different conflicts and then basically combine the conflicts, and that will create an overall story. So if you take, okay, I want to use the fear of snakes and the fear of spiders. Those would be two that I think is almost in everybody's unconscious, right? Is fear of serpent, fear of spider. That's just what I think. Those two are very scary. And fear of fire, right? Fear, yeah. And then creating new fears. You know what I mean? You could have a world where there's like 3 suns and 6 moons, and this planet could be so hot during the day that if you go outside and the sunlight hits you, you are unalived, right? That is already setting it up for like a very scary situation, that you would have to be fighting the elements, right? Like the sun or the moon and the energies of that. Or you could have them being on a planet that is consistently changing, and that's another thing that you can add. Lust is a great tool, okay? Because you can use it to draw characters away from their path and down a dark one, but you can also use it to inspire love to occur. Sorrow, using the loss of somebody. The loss of somebody could be a great motivator of fear. Like if somebody, like, let's say that they're mountain climbing, they could lose somebody, and losing that person could motivate this person to get up the rest of that mountain, or it could demotivate them. So sorrow is also a very good tool to use in writing. You could make people feel sorrowful for somebody who, in later on in the story, you find out doesn't deserve any mercy, and then people are like, oh man. Yeah, you could also have somebody that fails. Failure is another fear that people have. So you could literally write a story. There's a Japanese writer, I can't remember his name, but he's written a few stories. He wrote this one story about this like planet that comes closer to the earth, and then all of a sudden they see and observe that this is a humongous eyeball that's watching the planet. And basically this eyeball starts, basically this eyeball swallows other planets, right? And but to this, it's eating everything on earth, but to this eyeball planet, it's just having a snack. So that's like a very scary thought, being completely helpless, and whatever you do fails. So the people on the earth that see this planet coming and starting to consume the earth, they start to sacrifice people, thinking that if they sacrifice them, that they're going to get freed from this thing that in its perspective, it's just having a snack. It's just enjoying lunch, nothing personal. You know what I mean? But that's absolutely terrifying. Power. When you give people different powers or you take power away from people, that can be also a very terrifying feeling. And then pushing people to beyond their limit. Okay. Oh my gosh, we're at 2 hours. All right. Then we have a Knight of Cups, very rescuing energy. You could always have somebody that comes in to rescue and defend. Okay, is there anything else that they need to know? But you're on the right track. All the stuff I'm talking about is just things to think about. And then using that chat GPT, I really feel like you guys are going to have a lot of success with that. The Priestess, having somebody that has supernatural powers and abilities that can like perform initiations or can turn someone into a toad, stuff like that. That's still a very scary concept of being turned into an animal. The Knight of Wands, having somebody that runs away from conflict. You could have somebody that runs right into the trap of the enemy because they run away from conflict. I also feel like you can integrate other characters, like from, I look at this card and I'm seeing Lilith. That's all I see with this card, especially with the Hebrew writing and all of that. So you could use, characters like Lilith, like these dark feminines, like Kali, and you could write stories about them. Gain. When you give your characters something to gain, and it gives the reader something to gain because it's always another insight. But when you add gain to it, it just, increases. Anytime that you add strife or you bring a tower down, which a tower is an unavoidable change, right? This is like a total attack, having strife and the attack together. That will create an adjustment in the valor of your characters throughout the story. And people want to see the changes that the character goes through, because it's like when we're reading the stories, little parts of ourselves change as we go through the story. The Moon, having an element of mystery, okay, and higher knowledge can also be something that helps you. The Prince of Swords, having somebody who likes to puppet other people. Whenever you put a narcissist in a story, the shit gets interesting. It just does. So you could always have somebody who's just too narcissistic to figure things out. And then you could also play on somebody's emotions by having them worry. And being stuck in a state of worry could actually stop somebody from taking an action that will create a positive outcome. The one that I think of is like that at one point there was a plane full of people that are like Olympic people. It plane crash, hit a mountain. These people were sitting in this plane. They could have gotten out of the plane, gone down the mountain, and there was a village that was right there if they would have just gone down the mountain. But they didn't. They sat there worried, thinking help was going to come. They ended up eating the other passengers and stuff like that. This is a real story. This is actually true. Okay. But these Olympic people did not have the intuition or common sense to know that if they just went down the mountain, okay, that yes, it was probably a little bit dangerous to go down the mountain, right? But if they would have gone down the mountain, they would have been able to get to somewhere that they would get help. Where they sat just sitting in the plane worrying and then eating the other people that were dead, that I would never have done that, dude. Never. I've been like, we're on this mountain. There is not going to be nobody coming by this damn mountain that's going to see this shit. We need to get out of this thing before the plane ends up dislodging itself from the mountain. That would be like worst case scenario. You can always add a devil type energy into your story if you need a bad guy. And then when you use somebody that's secluded from life, that could have major phobias and fears, that that also creates a lot of more oomph to your story. So these are all different, just kind of ideas, but this is what Spirit is saying, is that going within yourself and finding those things that you're afraid of, but also finding the things that you really value about yourself, and then integrating that into your writing. That's why I think I really would suggest reading The King in Yellow. They have, you can type it into YouTube and they literally have The King in Yellow. It's probably like an hour or two long, but you can listen to it and it'll change it will literally change your life. You will realize how writing literally programs the way that we perceive and interpret things. And then when you break yourself free of that illusion, it's like your whole mind can open up. So yeah. But like I said, Robert W. Chambers does such a good job because he makes you emotionally invest into the characters to the point where you're like having an emotional connection with them, basically. And when you have somebody that wears their heart on their sleeve, you can always play on opposites, you know? That's another thing. And then playing on the things that people don't see, the invisible, right? That's always a fear of the unknown, but it's also a very legitimate fear. So I think that, you know, having things that can't be seen and having things that can be seen are going to be really, really important. But yeah, you guys are you're in the correct space. You're right there. The ideas will come to you. So just make sure that you have something to write them down with. Okay. All right, you guys. I'm so glad that we were able to do this reading today, and that you guys are all here. I love interacting with you guys. I'm going to be praying for your kidney. I'm going to be praying for all of you guys. Okay. Always praying for you guys. And yeah, I'm glad that you made me aware, Ragnarok, of, you know, the other reader, because that's something I'm going to pray about immediately. Because yeah, you just want to make sure that when you're receiving information, if it doesn't really resonate with you, then that part of the message is not for you. But you having an awakening about that, to me, that's a really big deal, because this person had you under magic for the entirety that you knew them. So I feel like your guys' gifts and skills are progressing. And then the way that you describe things as well. And I'm thinking of Alfred as the one from the Viking series, or was his name Alistair? I can't remember. He was like the Christian guy. And then Floki unalived him in the series. Yeah, that's something to look out for sure. If somebody is like contradicting what they just said, then that's not credible information. So that's, yeah, definitely an eye opener. So you guys are going to be okay though. Trust me. You guys have made it this far. You will succeed. That's what destiny says. And that's what inevitability says. Like, you guys continue to show up. And so God acknowledges that. So give yourself a pat on the back. You're doing really good. Okay. Know that God loves you. Know that I love you. Until the next reading, you guys, peace be with you. Have a wonderful day. All right. And keep writing, you guys. I am so excited to read some of the stuff that you guys have written. So keep working on it. Okay. You're doing really good. You're doing really good. Okay. I'm giving you air hugs and lots of support. That would be amazing, because nobody has even attempted to do anything like that. Like, that would just be totally amazing. So yeah, definitely write that new gospel. And then we'll share each other's writings. That would be amazing. Okay, you guys, peace be with you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a wonderful day. Bye.